Two towering figures, Kwame Nkrumah and Jerry John Rawlings, shaped modern Ghana. This video explores their key points, their similarities and differences. Let's begin with the first leader. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president from 1957 to 1966, is best known as the independence leader who led the country to freedom from colonial rule in 1957, making Ghana the first sub-Saharan African nation to gain independence. A staunch Pan-Africanist, he was instrumental in founding the Organization of African Unity, OAU, now the African Union, in 1963. Nkrumah advocated for African unity and liberation from colonialism and neo-colonialism. Domestically, he introduced the 7-year development plan to rapidly modernize and industrialize Ghana's economy. He expanded schools and universities, built major infrastructure projects like the Akosombo Dam, and sought to transform Ghanaian society through socialist policies and state control of the economy. However, his government's growing debt, coupled with accusations of authoritarianism and corruption, ultimately led to his overthrow in a 1966 military coup. Now let's look at the second leader, Jerry John Rawlings. Rawlings first came to power in a coup in 1979, then again in 1981. He eventually transitioned Ghana into multi-party democracy in 1992 and served as president until 2001. A military leader with a revolutionary background, Rawlings came to power in a period of economic and political turmoil. He initially ruled as a military dictator before introducing some limited democratic reforms. In the 1990s, he oversaw the implementation of the Economic Recovery Program, ERP, with support from the IMF and World Bank. This shifted Ghana's economy towards free market reforms and liberalization. Under his leadership, Ghana's democracy became the longest surviving in its history. Currently the Fourth Republic established in 1992, Rawlings also made significant strides in social development, expanding rural electrification, healthcare, and education. However, his early years in power were marked by harsh measures, including the execution of some former leaders on corruption charges. His regime also faced criticism for human rights abuses and authoritarian practices. Now let's compare and contrast these two leaders. Both were strong and sometimes controversial leaders who shaped Ghana's political trajectory. However, their backgrounds, ideologies, and approaches to leadership were quite different. Nkrumah, a civilian intellectual and nationalist, emphasized Pan-Africanism and the struggle against colonialism. Rawlings, a soldier and revolutionary, prioritized national discipline and restructuring. Nkrumah's economic policies were more socialist and state-led, while Rawlings's government implemented neoliberal reforms and free market principles. Both leaders, however, faced criticism for silencing opposition and ruling in an authoritarian manner at times. In conclusion, Kwame Nkrumah and Jerry John Rawlings remain important figures in Ghana's history. Nkrumah is celebrated as the leader of independence and a champion of African unity. Rawlings is remembered as a disciplinarian who laid the foundation for Ghana's current stability and democratic system. Their legacies continue to shape and inspire Ghana today, and it's important to study them both to understand the complexities of Ghana's journey towards independence, growth, and democratic consolidation. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time.